Good evening, everybody. As you wrap up, if I could have everybody's attention, as you wrap up dinner, I want to continue with the next speaking part of our program. I'm Mike Cassidy. I'm the faculty director of the Rappaport Center for Law and Public Policy at Boston College. I don't know about all of you, but I found those presentations from our fellows incredibly hopeful and optimistic and awesome, particularly at a time when, as Jeff said, there's a lot of cynicism and suspicion about the ability of federal government to solve problems in the world. It's really nice to see these amazing young people being interested in service at the state and local level, because that's where the problems are going to be solved. And I feel very hopeful to see them just beginning their careers. So my job tonight is to introduce Jerry and Phyllis. But before I do, just a couple comments on those presentations. One is thank you so much to our supervisors who are here. We can't say it enough. You all giving your time and talents to nurture these young professionals, but you really are the fertilizer that is going to make these incredible flowers bloom and grow. And go to your room, Professor Kedstrom. I didn't mean it that way. But it really does take a village to raise a Rappaport Fellow, and we couldn't do it year after year without all of you helping us. So thanks to the mentors and supervisors. And then just a word to the fellows. Thank you for applying for the program. Thank you for serving in the program. And now we have something to ask of you. We're not letting you go. You are now a member of the Rappaport family. And once you are a member of the Rappaport family, you're a member for life. And you're going to need to pay it forward. We're going to call on you. We're going to call on you to serve on maybe subcommittees of our advisory committees. We're going to call on you to do special projects. We're going to call on you to mentor Rappaport fellows that are going to come behind you. And just like the mentors who have made a difference so far in your careers, we expect you to stay close to the Rappaport family so that you can make a difference in the people who come up behind you, and we're confident that you will. So just be prepared. You're on our list. We're not letting go, and you're going to hear from us. So let me introduce our benefactors, Jerry and Phyllis Rappaport. They really need no introduction for so many of you. But their backgrounds speak a lot to what we're trying to accomplish in this program. Phyllis Rappaport is a graduate of Smith College and has her MBA from Simmons School of Management. She was a leader in industry, working for both Hewlett-Packard and PricewaterhouseCoopers before going into the nonprofit field. She not only serves as chair of the Rappaport Foundation, but she serves on numerous other boards, particularly hospitals in the Longwood area and MGH. And she serves as a founder and director of the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, which is doing really terrific and innovative research, breakthrough research in finding a cure for Alzheimer's. And her interests, her philanthropic interests, extend not only to public policy, but also medicine and the arts in Boston. And she's an incredible leader and visionary for our program, so we thank her. And Jerry Rappaport, I thought I heard 90. I thought I heard 90, but I think it was 19. It couldn't possibly be 90. Jerry Rappaport did his undergraduate work at Harvard College, has a degree from Harvard Law School. He really started to be interested in public policy when he was at Harvard Law School. He noticed that Harvard Law School was really churning out corporate lawyers, and where were all the people who were interested in changing the world? So he started a program at Harvard Law School called the Harvard Law Forum, which continues to this day. And the Harvard Law Forum was a vehicle for people in the law to come together and to talk about public policy issues. Jerry even had his own radio show on Friday nights as a second-year Harvard Law student. And so his interest in public policy dates back to the 50s. He helped lead a campaign of John Hines to become mayor of Boston and to unseat Mayor Curley. And that was a pivotal point in the early 1950s in Boston. moving from a regional to a national economy, thinking about Boston in terms of economic and geographic growth. And Jerry was in the middle of that. And while he was working for um, Mayor Hines, he started something that I really think of as the kind of predecessor to the Rappaport Fellows Program. He started something called the New Boston Committee. And Jerry thought, well, we really need to get people from all walks of life around this city, from different professions, different ethnic backgrounds, different neighborhoods, different disciplines together to really come think about a vision for Boston, about a vision for its economic growth and its geographic growth. And that New Boston Committee, when you think about it, is a little bit like the fellowship program that he has now designed and fostered for the last 17 years for law and public policy fellows. It's bringing tomorrow's leaders together to think about what we can do on a state and regional basis to improve our communities. So Jerry left Mayor Hines' administration, started the New Boston Fund, which was a real estate development firm, and of course, the rest is history. He really transformed the landscape of Boston in terms of developing the West End and developing much of what we see as Boston today compared to what it looked like in the 1950s. But he's never lost his urge for community service and to give back, to use his gifts and talents to give back and make Boston a better place. And that's what we really hope for our fellows. No matter what line of work you go into, and we expect some of the most interesting careers, you'll be in and out of public service. You might be in private practice for a few years, and then you might use those skills back in public service. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we're hoping that the Rappaport Fellows can really model Jerry and Phyllis's lives by using their gifts and talents to enrich their community. So we can't thank both of them enough. I invite them up to say a few words to our fellows, but let's give a round of applause to Jerry and Phyllis.
I think what I wanted to say has been said. But this program was my husband's idea. He thought it was very important to apply top talent from the great academic institutions in this city to key problems in state and local government. And Jerry, we are so lucky because every year we get this whirlwind tour of some of the most pressing issues of our time because you fellows have been getting your hands dirty in it. And we're grateful to each of you. I'm echoing other words, but we're grateful to our Rappaport Fellows. You know, people thank us, but this is our evening to feel enormous gratitude for you and your public office supervisors and our advisory board members who are terrific, your mentors, and the Harvard and Boston College faculty and staff. And we thank members of our own foundation team. We began the Rappaport Foundation 20 years ago. We spent 3 years doing research, face-to-face. We interviewed some of the key leaders in the city, the mayor, the governor, the head of the city council, the head of the legislature branches. We had focus groups, we did brainstorming, we had consultants, and they all helped us design the Harvard and BC centers. And as Jeff said, this is our 17th year of Rappaport Public Policy Fellows. We do have a foundation website, and you'll see our logo. It's a colorful laurel wreath, which is on the pins that new fellows are wearing tonight. And we picked this symbol because it celebrates you, in this case, our rising Olympic stars in public policy. And as Mike mentioned, we also fund Rappaport Fellows. They're to have full scholarships at the Kennedy School, and these are elected or appointed officials in the city. We fund several area scientists, and our special focus is neurologic disease and mental illness. And we do give an annual prize to a contemporary artist. This year, we're trying to think of ways to help Rappaport Fellows from these different focus areas engage together. And you'll hear more about that in the future. So I'll tell you a little bit more about me and Jerry. We're active parents and grandparents of a very large family. We love to throw parties so we can dance with our kids. And our son, John Rappaport, where are you, John? And our grandson, Saul Glist, are here with us tonight. And over the years, we've had granddaughters and daughters and other sons. And yes, I did co-found the Cure Alzheimer's Fund and in 2004, and we have leading scientists worldwide who are trying to understand and stop this terrible disease, and we are making progress. Jerry leads New Life into a classical orchestra in Florida by funding top composers of new music. Personally, we work hard to stay fit and healthy. We play golf with gusto and good friends. Jerry plays all the major tournaments at our club, and he won one last year with our son Jerry. His competitors know he's turning 90 this month, and they hope they can grow old with as much energy and spirit. Now, Jerry's had a long day. We're not always in Boston. We've been in Boston all week. He's insisted on being in the office every morning at 9 o'clock. He was there this morning at 9 o'clock. And he said, I hope you're going to do all the talking. But I know my husband. I'm sure he'll have a couple words to say. Here he is.
Well, thank you, Phyllis. As you can see, one of the reasons you get to be 90 and feel quite good is you find a great wife. and I've been very lucky in that regard. I do want to say that this evening always means a great deal to me. I look around the room and, we live in an era where there's such disrespect for public service, for people in politics, for the decision makers. And it's obviously just is unfair to all of the people who are in this room, who are in office, who hold elective office, who are appointed office, who are extraordinarily dedicated to the well-being of their community, who are honest, and all of you who are starting out with that sense of energy and vision, which thank God you have, and are dedicated to making improvements in society. And this is you come to a meeting like this and you get rejuvenated in the sense that with all the stuff that is on TV, there really is a wholesome functioning of government that operates at the state and local level. And there is a succession of quality leadership, which all of you represent with a sense of hope. So I come to these meetings and you thank me, and I am very grateful to you for rejuvenating my sense that democracy works, public policy works. It screws up periodically. There are people who are bad in it, but on the whole, it moves forward, and in cycles. And when things are bad, the only thing I could tell you from experience of 90, they sooner or later get better. And let's hope that that vision is still appropriate. But having said that, I do want to thank all of the people here who have been mentors. I know many of you in elective office, and you are extraordinarily dedicated. And you really have made this program work, because each of you recognizes that part of what you can do is to bring on the next generation of leaders and make sure that they are experienced. I don't know if you all were limited to 75 seconds, but I can tell you some of the things that you said could take a year and a course to learn. So for me, it has been amazing how much you have picked up about public policy decision-making, about some of the intricacies of how it gets accomplished, of how you have to be pragmatic and practical at the same time, idealistic, and it is a balance. And at the end of the day, my hope is that what Phyllis has said and what Mike said, is that you all, I've got 10 kids, but I want to tell you, I've got 420 Rappaport fellows. And in a sense, I look upon you as part of the legacy that we will have left, and we will take great pride in the fact that you really build on this experience, that you accomplish all of your ideals, that we share in the knowledge of what you accomplish, and that you all enrich each other in terms not only of this group of fellows, but of the fact that you can be recipients of benefits from predecessors, the 420, many of whom are now in public policy positions. I look around the room and I see Jeff Sanchez, who was a Rappaport fellow here, who's now chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, probably the second or third most powerful position after the governor in the Commonwealth. We've had one of the Rappaport fellows who came in the program just like you, ran for office, is president of the city council, and I know we have a candidate for the city council in Somerville, and she will be following in that course. We have Mayor Joe Cortatone, who is mayor of Somerville. We have a congressman. So it gives us great satisfaction to see that indirectly we have impacted the improvement of public policy. Now, I say this, I was a registered Republican in Massachusetts. I've looked at the list. I think out of the 41 Rappaport fellows, there are 2 Republicans. But it's, my feeling, and that's one of the things that this is about. This is about the fact that you can have different political viewpoints. And if you have knowledge and if you have a desire for the common result, you can achieve some bipartisan goal. So I would just simply like to thank all of you for what you've done, and hope that you will remain committed to the program and that you will all have successful lives. Thank you.